So I recently made a video on the movie RRR, and it was the most well-performing video on my channel. You guys seem to really enjoy the video, and in the comments I got a lot of recommendations for other Indian films to check out and talk about for you guys.
Anyway, a movie that caught my eye and from the name alone sounded like a really good time was Three Idiots, a movie about two engineering students in college who form a great bond with another student due to his refreshing outlook on life, and years later, a bet gives them the chance to look for this long-lost friend whose presence is unknown. It's a great story of friendship, passion, heart, mindset, and of course, bathroom dance numbers. Can't go wrong. Now, the movie primarily takes place in their time in college, where Farhan and Raju intend to fulfill their goals set by their parents for them. It's quite simple really. Become an engineer, get a job, provide for the family, no questions asked. However, their new roommate Rancho has a different take on studies and believes that the college system is failing students, prioritising grades over real life value, and he encourages Farhan and Raju to follow their heart rather than their parents' wishes. So from the get-go, it's clear that Rancho has a different mindset to all of his peers, and until later on in the film, we never quite know why. But anyway, he's never afraid to hold back how he really feels about the system, while poking fun at his superiors and other students in the process. He's a rare but needed presence for Farhan and Raju, who have both either held back on their dreams or have limited self-belief due to pressures from their family that they were born into. But being friends with Rancho allows them to be more confident, less held down by the pressures around them, and more open to new experiences. He helps Farhan come out of his shell and follow his passion, as well as shift Raju's mindset, which comes to benefit him greatly. And his outspokenness towards the principal's daughter, aka, that Indian Riz, lands in the film's main love interest because, what would a comedy film be if not for a little love story to bring it full circle? Anyway, I think it's clear that Rancho is the standout of the film, and Amir Khan is great in the role. Rancho's personality is so confident, unique, and versatile. He's a prankster and an extremely clever individual who seems to know exactly what to say in any given situation. He's willing to take risks, and he always speaks what he believes to be true, and this honestly makes him such a respected individual among his peers as the film progresses. His influence might not always lead to the best outcomes, but you know that he only has good intention in what he does, and seeing this trio go about college life is extremely fun and reminds you of the value of strong friendships and finding people that you can trust, which, is gradually fading in today's society as the internet takes over. Quick reminder, guys, find friends who only want the best for you while you're still young. Right, you'll be glad you did years from now. Anyway, other standouts in the film are Bowman Irani as Virus, who's just perfect as the grumpy, miserable and harsh head of the college, whose sole purpose is to make sure that the college stays at #1 in the country, even if that means his students are miserable. The guy's just such a perfectionist, and anything that goes against his set of values or standards for the college is just ruled out immediately. There's also the character of Silencer, who's that cocky, know-it-all student whose sole purpose is to impress his superiors, and his studying tactic is to simply just memorize definitions instead of taking a real interest in the subject. Now, this comes to bite him in the back on several occasions, and he's just an asshole. There's not really much more to say. Anyway, apart from all the charm and great comedy that's most prominent in the film, it also takes on darker moments, acknowledging the brutal reality of what stress and lack of beliefs from others can do to someone. There's instances where characters lose hope and take action to remove all of this pain, in some instances succeeding and failing in others. The film's aware that the pressures put on students, especially in India, is overwhelming and can't be ignored, and the way that they integrated this message into the film was fantastic, and honestly made me slightly emotional at times, if I'm keeping it real. But man, what a great job they did. There's plenty of shock in this film on the funnier and darker sides of the scale, and it just works out great. It's just such a well-balanced movie in terms of tone. Yeah, I just really can't complain. If I had to pick some issues with the film, I guess I would say the cliches, but it was 2009, I'll let them off. The film's also quite predictable in many instances, and it's maybe a bit longer than it needed to be. There's a lot of things I could nitpick about the film if I wanted to, but it's a movie, it's not going to be perfect. And these criticisms are so mild because I don't have any real issues with the film that genuinely took me out of it, to any real extent. The film does exactly what it was made to do. Be a 3-hour timeout from life where we can just enjoy a heartfelt story which makes us laugh, cry, and appreciate our friends and loved ones even more. And I think a movie like this is what a lot of films are missing nowadays. Characters with depth, genuine emotion and understandable motivations, a story that's relatable for young and old, and moments that surprise you in unique, hilarious and shocking ways. It's just become a world of sequels, spin-offs, remakes and repeated formulas which no one asked for, and it's just all gotten very repetitive. So I guess you could say that this film is not your everyday comedy. It's a quirky, quick-witted and charming display of how your life is deeply impacted by those that you surround yourself with, yet doesn't hold back on the messages it wants to portray. It takes on darker and dramatic themes, and while there's a lot of cliches and predictable outcomes, it still culminates into something fun, light-hearted, and worth your time if you just need a break from more intense viewings. But yeah, that was my review of The Three Idiots. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like the video, do whatever you want. I'm not going to force you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And remember guys, if you're ever feeling down, just remember, all is well. Bye.